Good morning. I'm here having my first cup of coffee of the day. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're not up as early as I am. And I'm showing you our hypothesis window pane to read the Book of the Courtier by Castiglione. The Book of the Courtier is huge. In fact, if you look here at the top bar that you can use with tools to navigate, the page number is 762. I am not asking you to read 762 pages. We're going to look at some selections. We're trying to get a feel here for the voice of someone who belongs to the court culture of the 15th and 16th century. Castiglione is actually writing in the 16th century. We're looking at here the Northern art boom in the 15th century, but all of these ideas apply. They hold true across those centuries. So the first thing I'm showing you is there's a little navigation tool for moving around the pages. I'm on page 18 out of 762, which is showing us the table of contents. This is one thing that I want you to actually read through because it's a fascinating artifact itself. This table of contents is not just a clean list of the titles of the chapters. It actually breaks down each chapter, here called each book. They're using the word book the way we would use the word chapter. They break it down into each part having its own subtitle and numbered. So this is like an outline of the entire book. So you should read this first because you really get a feel for what this book is covering, from the first book of the Courtier to the second book. And it's a kind of plot summary. Our focus is here in the first book, particularly sections 1 through 28 is what I'm asking you to read. 1 through 28 here. And you'll be able to navigate through using either this page number, or you can also use these arrows to go down a page. Okay, arrow, show my students how you go down there. You see the third book of the Courtier, the fourth book. There's also lots of images of the people who are discussing the Courtier, because this book is set up as a discussion among the aristocrats of Renaissance Italy. Castiglione, as is himself a courtier at the court of the Duke of Montefeltro, the Duke of Urbino, Guidobaldo de Montefeltro, and we will actually be discussing the Duke of Montefeltro when we look at the Italian Renaissance. And there's all sorts of 16th century mucky mucks who are here. Mucky muck is not the official term. Nobles, aristocrats, counts, they've all gathered and they're discussing what makes for the perfect courtier. And you can look forward to seeing the different aspects of that in these 4 books, but you don't have to read all 4 books. It's fun to go ahead and look at the pictures. So you can also use the down arrows on your keyboard. That's what I'm doing right now, if that's easier for you for moving around the pages. There's a little section here that is helpful to look at: interlocutors, the various people who are debating with each other, so that you know the cast of characters, as it were. The wife of the Duke of Urbino, Emilia Pia, the friend and companion of the Duchess, the Count, Ludovico de Canossa, a kinsman, and there's even a jester. And then you've got the time. This is actually supposedly an event that Castiglione has recorded at the Palace of Urbino. So that's the setting. Back to hypothesis, you have a tool where you can actually look things up in the document. I wouldn't really recommend using that too much, but over here, this little arrow is important because this opens up the annotations. I've put some in for you to start your thinking about it and to help you navigate a little bit. You can click on the numbers, which show where the annotations are to move to them. You can also use this tool to go by the annotations by newest and oldest. I think location is the best. There's a help tool, which obviously helps you. There's a tool here which is page notes instead of annotations. I don't think that's relevant for us. And you can click here on annotations to toggle between page notes and annotations. So I think that once you get a feel for these different elements, it's actually going to be pretty straightforward. But I'm definitely here if there are questions. If you're finding yourself needing help moving through this, you've got a Zoom feature. And I'm looking forward to seeing what your response is to Castiglione's ideas, his language, and what he tells us about court culture, because that's really what this assignment is about. What did it mean to be part of the aristocrats, to live in a court, to have to display yourself to the court, and to try to impress people as a courtier?